You ready?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jonathan Lim, and today I'm sitting down with Miss Berry, the new math teacher here at St. Andrews. So first off, what sparked your interest in math?
So I've always liked math as far as I can remember. I used to really like counting things as a kid. I used to count the number of street signs I saw that had arrows on them, and it really annoyed my parents because there's a lot of street signs with arrows on them. I used to call them dangerous snakes because dangerous snakes have triangular heads. And then in second grade, I had this really awesome awesome teacher who, during math time, she just had a whole bin of worksheets and just let us work at our own pace. And so I could just speed through as many of them as I wanted. And I just remember there were a lot of problems that involved time zones and airplane flights. And I thought those were really interesting because I had grown up flying across the country a lot. And I just have always really, really loved math. I can't remember a time when I didn't love math.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a certain area of math that you're most fascinated in?
I love trigonometry, and I don't know how my students feel about trigonometry, but I really, really love trigonometry. I think it's really, really beautiful. Just how it's related to calculus, how you can model different phenomena in nature with it, how mind-bending the problems can be. I think it's like a really good intellectual exercise, even if you don't apply it. I think it's just really beautifully simple, but at the same time very difficult, because it's about recognizing patterns. Once you can see the patterns and reflections involved in trigonometry, it becomes a lot simpler. So I try to make my students see that. Some of them do, some of them hate me for it, probably. But I love trigonometry.
So where are you originally from?
I was born in Los Angeles, and I lived there until I was 7, and then I moved to the New York City suburbs, and I lived there until college, and I went to college in California, and then back to New York for 8.5 years, and then just moved to Austin in August.
What's the biggest difference between New York and Austin, probably?
One thing that I noticed that I didn't really think about until last week was in New York you encounter so many different people in a given day because of your commute, and so I sort of miss that. I feel like I live in this little bubble where I go from my apartment to my car to school, to my car to perhaps like meet friends, but then home, and so I don't encounter as many different types of people as I did in New York.
So what brought you to St. Andrews?
There was a job posting in July, and my friend Meredith Petrie, who teaches in the middle school, let me know about it, and I had been looking to leave New York for a few reasons, kind of the basic reasons that it's too expensive, too crowded, too stressful, and I've really liked Austin for a while. I've visited here 5 or 6 times, and I really like how it's a really active place. People do a lot of cool things, but it's cheaper, a little bit more laid back, and so I applied for the job and I got it.
What are some of your passions or hobbies?
I like to run.
Hey.
Yeah, that's like the main thing I do. So I've been running with different running groups since I moved to Austin, including the varsity cross country team, and so that's been a really cool way to meet people in Austin and socialize. I also used to be in a choir in New York. I don't sing as much as I used to. To be honest, what Ms. Gasco said in chapel last week about being a professional talker and the toll it takes on your voice is very real, so I can't sing as well as I used to, which is sort of sad. And what else do I do? I mean, I really like karaoke, so that's singing. And reading, traveling, kind of all the basic stuff that other people like to do.
Do you have any funny memories as a child or just moving here?
Funny memories as a child, or just moving here. I mean, of course there's funny memories.
Or any that stand out?
One kind of like fun fact is that for the New York City Marathon 2 years ago, I had like a pretty strong goal time that I wanted to make, and it was within my reach. But the day before the marathon, I decided that I wanted to dress up as Rainbow Bright for the marathon. So I put on a tutu and some rainbow arm warmers and high rainbow socks, and it ended up being a pretty warm day for a marathon, and those extra layers really took their toll. And at mile 25.7, I overheated and passed out. Luckily, my friend caught me. And then I spent time in the medical tent, and they let me go, and I walked to the finish. But it's just kind of a funny memory because I basically sabotaged myself by wearing too much clothing for this marathon. I swear I would have hit my goal time if I had been able to finish. So that's sort of a bad memory, but also funny in a way.
Are you planning to do any other marathons or running competitions?
Right now I want to focus on 5Ks. I really like 5Ks because you can do one, and then if you don't do well, you can do another one 2 weeks later, versus marathons. It's sort of like you can only do basically, like, unless you're like one of those crazy people, you can basically only do like 2 or 3 a year. So I want to focus on 5Ks.
Okay. Do you have any favorite places in Austin or favorite restaurants?
So I really enjoy running around the lake. And as far as favorite restaurants go, I haven't really been that adventurous. I really like Torchy's tacos, but I think everyone does. So that's the main place that I've discovered, even though I know that I didn't discover Torchy's tacos.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any hopes for the year? Or?
I just want kids to learn math. I really, really do. And I want them to walk away not only knowing the skills to be successful in their course, but have an understanding of why what they're learning is important, why what they're learning works, which is why I made you guys explain that transformation thing to me on the test. And just feeling confident. A lot of students lack confidence when it comes to math. It can be a very emotionally charged subject, and so I want to build a sense of self-confidence in that field.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
You're welcome.
Okay, sweet.